Oh, something that I have always expressed, um, as early as I can remember, is that of self-exposure. I constantly would have, say, self-realizations or observations, and not understanding that in the grown-up world, these things were not necessarily said, I would say them. I would tell people that my mom is not actually 25, she's 27. I would tell people that they smelled bad, or just certain things, that observations, and I did not think anything of it, but I exposed it. And the more I did it, the more of a reaction I received. I received this reaction of, who do you think you are? Why do you, I didn't want people to know that. And apparently we're supposed to walk around acting as if we do not realize these things, so that people can continue in their fantasies, and I also can continue in mine. But since I do not have a fantasy to continue in, I have no problem reminding people they don't actually have a fantasy either. It's not real. And this point of self-exposure, I have realized, is a point of invulnerability, in that people who will not escalate to violence as a reaction will often use secrets, or shame or exposure as a means to get what they want, or to maintain the status quo. I myself am not ashamed. I am not afraid to expose myself. I am comfortable. I enjoy the way I look. And me exposing myself exposes those who are bothered before they come and place their disturbance for others to see. And that is another point of exposure, is that exposure naturally exposes other things, simply by nature. And so exposure, to me, is at least one of the main points of a free press. The free press is here to expose everything. It's not supposed to judge, this is what needs to be exposed, or this doesn't need to be exposed, or this is good, or this is bad. It's just, okay, it happens, expose it, expose it, expose it. It doesn't matter. It's not for the press to judge. It is information, and therefore that is what they're there to do, to share the information, because when you expose everything equally, all you're doing is sharing. It's not personal, it's business. And that's the way it is for me. I naturally expose, and I naturally expose myself. I am not worried about it. And so the more one exposes oneself, the more comfortable one becomes with oneself, the more one is not ashamed of who one is. And if one is actually ashamed of who one is, or part of who one is, face that, expose it, and do something about it. There's no reason to continue portraying some fantasy of covering up what is really there. That's not the way the world works. Thank you.